Hello everyone, here is a short video to give you some general feedback on your critical review assignments. I will go over this in more detail next week with you and answer any questions that you have, but here's some general feedback from a lot of the essays that I saw. Okay, so in this lecture I'll go through all these things. There are 8. I know it looks like a lot, but it will not take that long, I promise. Okay, so just one thing quickly to go over the assessment that we're looking at. We've got organization and structure for 3 points, language for 7, and critical review for 10. That's going to get you the biggest marks. A lot of people did pretty well for language, around 5 marks for most people. Critical review, depending really how critical you were in the assignment to get higher marks. And then organization and structure, not bad for many. Okay, so this is the plan that I put up, which I hoped many of you would follow, but some of you did not, which is fine. But this plan here was designed to give you a guide to show you how to structure your essay. As you can see from the introduction to the main idea to the conclusion, each part has 3 places, and you need to put these in place to make your essay make sense. Okay, big thing first of all was the topic sentence. So a lot of people put the video, the use of phones in the classroom was interesting. This is not a topic sentence. You want a sentence that leads the reader into the article. Don't tell them exactly what it's about. You don't watch a movie and it tells you exactly what's going to happen. It leads you into the film very, very slowly. So my example is mobile phones have numerous benefits, but there are debates as to whether these benefits are felt in the classroom. Open with a nice general sentence to bring the reader into the topic. Don't just slam right into it. Another big thing that many people forgot is the thesis statement. You need to be able to have a thesis statement because it tells the reader what the essay is all about. So either you actually state the what you're going to write about, the 2 main points, or you write it in the example like I have here. With the conflicting information contained in the video, the purpose of this essay is to critically review the strengths and weaknesses. A lot of students have put instead, I agree with the video because That's more appropriate for your conclusion, but the thesis statement should just tell the reader what kind of essay is this. Paragraph topic sentences. This was quite tricky actually because you need to tell me what is the point of the paragraph. For example, the first strength of the video is the argument which discusses the learning opportunities of using mobile phones. What is this paragraph about? Okay, it's a strength and you're going to give me more information. Or the major weakness of the video is the lack of evidence to support the claims made in the video. So that is another point that you're going to discuss in more detail. But lots of people just started to go directly into discussing, but not actually telling me whether it was a strength or weakness. So if I've written strength or weakness on your paper, that's why, because it's difficult for me. It might be clear for you, but reading it is not obvious right away. So make sure you always have a strong topic sentence to tell the reader what's happening. The next one, being critical. I saw this website used by a few people actually. Being critical is not only just looking at the video, but it's being critical of the website you use as well. So quite a lot of students did this essay on was it same-sex marriage? And they wanted to find a reason that if the video mentions that it is not harmful, however, this point is refuted by family research, is not harmful. However, this point is refuted by Family Research Council. So a few students actually made this point that says, the video said that gay marriage is not harmful, but the Family Research Council believes that homosexual conduct is harmful to those persons who engage in it and to society at large and can never be affirmed. Okay, you found a website that supports a different point of view, which is good. But how reliable is this website? Now, this website is the Family Research Council. They are quite active in anti-gay kind of campaigning, and this is the first line on their website about page. Is this balanced or is this going to be reliable? I'm waiting for the answer. Yes or no? Answer after 3. 3, 2, 1. I hope you said it's not reliable because they make a very strong stance at the beginning. They have no supporting evidence to support it. So I think it's great that some of the students use this as a good example to argue the other points, which is great, but you need to choose websites that are unbalanced. Otherwise, it doesn't prove your point. Okay, last one, being critical. The biggest thing with many of the essays is not actually being critical about it. So for example, the topic was one strength of the video is that it highlights the educational value of using phones in the classroom. Many people did this. I agree with this statement because when I need to check something I do not understand, I can use my phone. I've also seen my friends do the same thing. Is this critical or is this just you agreeing? Remember that we looked before about an opinion and an opinion does not class as being critical. The critical side is this finding is supported by a study by Oxford University that found phones can help weaker students by providing them with further support and a chance to catch up to the other students. That is the critical element because you found proof of it. A lot of students missed this green part, or they forgot, or they did a little bit only and not enough. So that's why their critical score was much, much lower. Here's another one. One weakness of the video is a lack of supportive evidence that is used. The video claims video claims that there are educational values, but my teacher noted that phones can be bad. Again, you can use me, but there's no reference, I'm not published. The critical side is this video makes many claims, such as the educational value, which has merit. However, conflicting studies show that phones can actually be disruptive to the learning experience, and I put Ahmed, BBC, and Smith to support my claims. And that is being critical. Not only finding the weaknesses and the strengths in there, but you have to support your arguments too. So remember what we said before. If you just got two opinions, it's not a critical assignment. It's just two opinions. You need to have evidence to support your stance. Using websites are good, but you still have to check the reliability of that website and if they have a political affiliation with a certain topic. If so, their argument is not going to be very strong. Okay, last one. Oh, sorry, two more or three more, I can't remember. Remember that in the conclusion, you have to restate the thesis statement. The purpose of this essay was to critically assess the aforementioned video and address the main strengths, and then you want to summarize the two main points of your essay. Again, this is to help the reader remember what happened in your essay. Doing this makes it much, much easier for people to read your work. Otherwise, the reader has to go back over your essay again and try to remember the main points. Don't make it difficult for them. Make it easy for them to understand where you are. Last one, I think. References. Okay, some of you did a reference as well. Some of you forgot this part, okay? You still need to use in-text citations. People just put the reference at the back like this, which is fine. But if you do that, I don't know which part of your assignment was taken from another website. So these are called in-text citations here. Hopefully you learned about them in your Harvard referencing class. You can put the in-text citation at the end of the part. So for example, however, conflicting studies show that phones can actually be disruptive to the learning experience. And then I've shown here that Ahmed, BBC, and Smith have all said this point. And I know that this sentence here is connected to these writers. Or you can do it another way. However, conflicting studies by Ahmed, 2012, BBC, 2015, and Smith, 2017, show that phones can actually be disruptive to learning experience. This is called in-text citation. So you need to do this to show the reader where the external ideas came from. And then finally, don't forget to put your references at the back. It's okay because we're only getting used to this kind of process right now, but it should usually have the name, the initial, the date, the title, where it was published, and then any additional information such as website, or if it was a book, where was the book published, which city. Not so important for this assignment, but more so for the next one. Okay, so remember the plan is really important. The plan holds your essay together. If you don't have a good plan, your essay will soon wander off course, and it'll be very difficult for the reader to follow. In your main idea, in your introduction, give a quick topic sentence about the general idea of where the essay is going. Next part, briefly outline and summarize the main idea of the essay. Next, provide a stance or a thesis statement to let the reader know what kind of essay this is. Next, in all your main bodies, and one main idea may have multiple paragraphs, by the way, but still, you need to pick out the topic center that explains what is happening in this main idea. You need to support it with evidence from external sources, and then you need to summarize and conclude it, and that's for each main idea. Lastly, in your conclusion, restate your thesis statement, summarize the main ideas, and conclude with your own thoughts. Don't give your own thoughts in the introduction, because you've already lost the critical element, because you've given your personal opinion. Okay, that's it. I hope that was useful. These are just some general points for most of this that I've seen many times during the essay process. I'll give you the essays back next week, and you will have a chance to look at my comments and my feedback and let me know if you have any questions after that as well. Okay, thank you very much.